moving to wide receivers. We got 40 minutes before kickoff, probably something like that. So we'll be able to get through these pretty quick and hopefully get answering all your questions. We know a lot of questions always. Baby.
I love to
questions always come in once we start answering them. So we know we're going to get more than whatever we got. So wide receivers, Hunter Renfrow. We talked about him at length on Monday, about how he's just better than people think. Going at KC, wide receiver 17, 3 above the experts. Julio, if in, we actually talked about him in the injury report and why you might like him. Going against the Jags, wide receiver 37, 7 above the experts. And then Cole Beasley also in play against Tampa Bay.
Yeah, just to help paint how high I am on Renfro, above Marquise Brown, above Elijah Moore, above DJ Moore, above Mike Williams, above Amari Cooper, above DK Metcalf. We'll talk about it a little bit. How crazy is that? If you put a picture side by side of Hunter Renfro and then DK Metcalf, shirtless, preferably, and you told me which one of these guys is dominating the NFL right now and which one has been a complete nobody, it'd blow your mind that Renfro is the guy that's absolutely lighting the league on fire. 14-14-6. Yeah, isn't that insane? That it's just fucking I can't get over it. Top 14 wide receiver in 4 of his last 5 games since the bye week. With Waller out, he's got all that much more upside in terms of touchdowns. It doesn't get better. 14-14-6, 18 and 15 points. So steady, so consistent. I might even bump him. I have Jamar Chase one spot above.
I actually think you're low on Renfro. I'm just going to say, and not much low, but I'd probably like him even more than you do.
More than Chase, more than Lockett, maybe more than Higgins and McLaurin. Honestly,
I put him right around Higgins.
Yeah, honestly, he's that good. Of all those guys I just said, I would guarantee that Renfro has a nice day. Any one of those other guys, even McLaurin, could be a big bust, whereas Renfro, you're going to get 14 points. He might get you 20. He's just unbelievable, underrated, and we get so many questions about him every week. It's like, come on now. Have we not seen it yet? The guy's a stud. He's going to go down as one of the best pickups of the year, no doubt about it. And then Julio Jones, 4th most points allowed by the Jags, and there's no one else to throw to as long as he's out there. So I think this guy could have a Julio day of all days. Last but not least, Cole Beasley is facing Tampa Bay. Nobody runs more zone pass coverage than Tampa Bay, and nobody kills zones quite like Cole Beasley. I think it's over 40% of his production this year has come against zone coverage. And then you look at the games where it's very Cole Beasley has 1 catch and 3 yards, or he has 9 catches for 110. And all those games that are monsters have come against very zone heavy teams and against teams that put up points and they need to throw the ball and keep it under. The script is the definition of a Cole Beasley script. So I think he could have himself a very solid day, and I would definitely be starting him this week if he's in a sit-start question, for sure.
Speaking of receivers that we were higher on, remember when we did our Q1 awards show and we were talking about what receiver is going to be number 1? And Kupp was number 1, and we both were like, well, he's not going to finish the year number 1. We were just like, we were both like, oh, that's not going to happen. I mean, he's easily going to finish the year number 1. It's not even going to be close.
No.
So quite a season from that guy. Lower, Jamar Chase. We just talked about him going against the Chargers. You got him at 17, 9 below the experts have him at 8. What?
Yeah.
DK Metcalf at Houston. You got him at 12. That's 11 below the experts have him at number 1.
No. The experts have him at 12. I've done this a couple times the last few weeks. The experts have him at 12, and I have him at 23.
Okay. 12's crazy. 1 would be crazier, but 12's crazy.
Yes.
Also, Mooney going at the Packers, wide receiver 27, 7 below the experts. Who knows if that's actually the rank or if that's just what the Wolf incorrectly wrote on the sheet. The point is the Wolf likes him less than the experts do.
Yes, he's the wide receiver 21 in rankings, and I am significantly lower 1 because Justin Fields is the quarterback, and we know the passing game upside.
Bring back the Red Rocket.
Yeah, exactly. Somehow the Red Rocket is the one that you'd want at quarterback than Justin Fields. Mooney had 1 good game with Justin Fields across all their starts together. He had 3 straight good ones with the Red Rocket. So I am nervous about a big regression, especially given Green Bay secondary, even without Jair Alexander, has been one of the best units in the league. I think Darnell Mooney, who did have a dud week last week, it was bad weather, but we already saw the kind of bust potential rear its ugly head. I think we're getting another bust week. He is just a fringe starter, in my opinion, whereas he's ranked as almost like a must start by the experts here. DK, it would be nice to see it. And I'm kind of in wait till I see it mode. 4, 5, 2, and 9 points across his last 4 games. If there's ever a get right spot, it is Houston. I mean, they are just abysmal against every position. But I think that foot injury, that's kind of what's emerging this week on Twitter, that there's a foot injury that I think a lot of us are overlooking because of how crucial a foot is for a wide receiver. Pushing off it, running your routes, jumping and leaping, all the things that he does so well might be significantly impacted right now. So DK is certainly riskier. It seems like Lockett's become the clear number one these last few weeks. Famous last words. Here come 120.
Still nothing to be like too proud of.
No,
I mean,
exactly.
Number one in the Seattle offense, right? Who cares?
And then Chase. I mean, talk about a guy that started hot, was averaging nearly 20 fantasy points per game across his first 5 weeks. He hasn't topped. I think he's under 13 fantasy points in all of his last 7 games except one. And he's ranked ahead of T. Higgins, who's clearly taking over right now as the number one. Could it flip on any given week? So, yeah, 12, 6, 12, 5, and 8 across his last 5 games.
That's garbage.
He had 30 the week before that. So, I mean, that's the rub. And you're not benching Chase. And except I do have a league where I have T. Higgins and Chase and good receivers around them. It's tough to put them both in there. I'm going to play Higgins over Jamar Chase right now. But yeah, 27, 48, 27, 53, 37 these last few weeks. And he keeps getting ranked top 10 week in and week out because he is so damn talented, because he can have 30 points on any given week on just one play. But it just goes to show that dropped 60-yard touchdown that turned into an interception. Like, he's not without his he's had his drop issues. No receiver has more dropped yardage right now. Over 120 yards through just air yards have been dropped by Jamar Chase. Never mind what he would have done after the catch here. So he's as good as it can be. Like, he's a great receiver, but he also has some of the more questionable hands right now in the NFL too, which was kind of the knock on him coming into the year. It's come to fruition in a deadly fashion. So you'd have to have a really good team to bench him, but still, it's like, why is he still top 10 in everybody's rankings? The guy hasn't been there for 5 straight weeks. He hasn't even been close for 5 straight weeks.
All right, we gotta speed up a little bit. We got to finish this well before 8 to make this late start or early start worthwhile. The must watches, obviously Justin Jefferson. We talked about the Chargers wide receivers a bunch. We talked about just now the battle for the Bengals receivers between Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and then we actually just talked about DK Metcalf. Agree, they're all must watches, but we've actually covered all those pretty recently. So
yeah, I don't know that we have to keep going on with that. More so just, again, keep those Chargers on your radar. Keep Jalen Guyton's stash right now in terms of like anything actionable from those must-watches. I would have some Chargers stashed on my bench. And then just let's get KJ Osborn in the lineup tonight, folks. I think, if you have any type of question, there's a good chance I'm going to be wanting KJ Osborn over whoever you're asking. What is up, you fantasy wolf? Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, share your thoughts in the comments. Check out some more videos. And join the newest Wolfpack by subscribing below.